Hi, welcome back to another episode of Spit or Swallow with your favorite host, Hausa Chocolate. Today is a special day, as per usual, and with me, I have a very special guest, Alexis. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Alex, yeah, guys, my name is Alexis. Yeah,
What do you do, Alexis?
I'm an artist. I paint. I sell art mostly. Yeah, I sell arts. So yeah, that's basically what I do, and I also DJ sometimes.
DJ Alexis.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about sexual communication, but not good sexual communication. We're going to be talking about bad sexual communication. Um I feel like every time, we talk about, oh, what's good sex or what are the tenets of good sex, every time we're always saying communicate, communicate, communicate. But we know that it's not always easy. And there are like very many reasons why people just don't openly communicate about sex from, purity culture, people being ashamed, religious differences, people not wanting to chop a lot, when they say, certain things and stuff. And just even fear of shame. So, for instance, if I'm into some stuff that I don't know you're into, I might not necessarily want to tell you, oh, this is what's. You know what I just remembered? I just remembered I've been watching Sex and the City like lately, and there's this episode where there's this guy who likes his ass being eaten, but he's sleeping with one of the babes on the show. Her name is Miranda. And
Mm.
so he can't outrightly ask her to like eat his ass. So what he does is anytime like he'll be like, oh, he'll ask for like a back massage, but then he will now start lifting his yash. He starts lifting his towards her face and stuff to
Yeah.
kind of like tell her like this is what I want. And like towards the
Mm.
end, she now screamed like I don't do that because he kept like lifting his
Mm.
butt. That shit was funny. But yeah, so this is basically what I'm talking about. Bad sexual communication. I'm not gonna talk about like, the good stuff today. For instance, ghosting. For instance,
Good
when you
stuff.
want head,
Yeah.
pushing the person's head towards like your genitals and stuff. So basically all the things that you shouldn't do when you're communicating about sex. That's what today's episode is about. So
Yeah.
let's get into it. But before we start, spit or swallow.
Uh, spit or swallow. What do you mean, like
So I'm asking you,
spit?
spit.
Yeah.
Why?
Just spit, please.
Okay, so what's your take on the topic on bad sexual communication? What would you say if someone said, what does bad sexual communication look like to you? What would you describe or what have you experienced?
I would say for me though, I'm really the one with the bad sexual communication, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that person when it comes to because I don't know, for me, I'll take it if I'm doing something to someone sexually and they don't like it, I would like for them to tell me. But other people, they take the whole thing personal, so they might just start being like, oh no, start feeling insecure. I don't like people feeling insecure around me. I like people being confident about,
Comfortable. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So if someone uh, does something to me that I don't like, maybe I can just like push the person backward and just like, okay, I don't like this. But most of the time, I after that, I just
You
ghost.
just ghosted.
I just ghost.
So I'll say that that's one thing that I'm also guilty of when it comes to, bad communication. I say that I'm also like a ghoster, but it's something I'm working on. I'm changing my ways, this year.
Yeah.
But I feel like while it's good to communicate, just like you said, how some people, they don't want to take it or they'll feel insecure. I mean, I don't necessarily care whether you feel insecure or not. I feel like most of the reason was why I ghost people is if I feel like this shit was so bad that there's no point, you don't need to come back here. So if I start explaining to you, oh, you did this, then they start asking for a second chance. Then we now start having to do that
Yeah.
dance of, oh no, just let me try, let me do this, let me do that. And I'm like, I don't care enough for you to return, for me to tell you. But it's something that I'm definitely going to like start doing because I feel like ghosting can actually is not fair. It's not.
Like I wouldn't want to ghost the person though, but imagine telling the person goes like because some people they have this spirit of not wanting to learn anything. They
Mhm,
just stick to their ways.
mhm.
So I rather just ghost the person because I'm not the one that's going to teach someone how to get.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's what I say as well. But I think if you're in a if it's not a new thing, I think sometimes we kind of owe new partners less. Although as a decent human being in life, it's good to be like, okay, I'm not interested, or yo, I don't think that this was a good fit and stuff. Obviously sometimes you just want to avoid all the torrential the talk that is gonna come with that. But I think that is better. If you want to be a better human being in society should actually communicate to the person like, I didn't like this, I didn't like, so I just don't think that we're compatible and stuff. And men actually don't want to hear jiggets, like,
yeah.
so I understand why, people would be averse to saying or explaining.
Mm,
And that is even women that goes, some people just don't even say anything, they even pretend that the sex is good. So I think one major area of bad communication is actually faking orgasms when this thing doesn't feel right and you're still moaning, you're still performing, you're still doing all of that stuff just so that the person. I think that we really need to stop trying to protect people's egos when it comes to sex, and we need to,
yeah.
yeah, we need to actually be more open and be like, yo, I don't like this, or I like that, or I think sometimes it also depends on like the power dynamic as well. There's some people that just don't. It's not everyone that's also expressive sexually. So even if
Yeah.
they don't like something, it's not even about the ego thing. They're just too shy, or they're just too ashamed to be like, oh no, they always want somebody else to
Yeah.
take the lead. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that that also happens when you also don't like explore your body or your own sexuality, something that you've not really taken charge of and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true. Me, before I make a move on anyone, like I usually ask, can I, even just in case, I'm like, can I kiss you? Because I like to give consent, like let's communicate first before we.
you do
But for
anything.
others, it's not that way. Like they just be like, let's go with the flow. No, I don't want to go with the flow. Then later you start saying, let's communicate about what we're about to do right now, so you know you're gamed and I know you're game. So when I'm doing anything, I know, okay, yeah,
Yeah, you're interested.
because people can be really not sometimes. They just be like, oh, that day I wasn't really in the mood. We're just, I'm like, I don't need any of that kind of energy. So if you want, just say we communicate, then we get to it. That's how I just like my stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's good because that actually makes a lot of sense. Going with the flow, I think, is one of those things where you have to really like know your person. And then that's also another thing when it comes to communication. And bad communication is also not reading people's body language. I feel like a lot of people don't like to, if you're actually really attentive. Yes, sometimes people act, people are faking, making noise, and you can never, if even if someone tells you they had an orgasm, you can never really know if somebody had an orgasm. They can act all the drama
Yeah,
and act all the film, and you think, oh my
yeah,
god, I'm doing something.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you're really not doing anything.
yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where, unless you really, really know your person, you should also, even if you know the person, I think my favorite partners are the ones that always check in between, where you're like, are you okay? Are you okay? And they're noticing your face and stuff. I've had people who are like, what's going on here? And there was
Mm.
one time I was upset about something that someone had done. So I was there, but I wasn't there. And I had someone who could see. But there are some people who are just in the thriller, those ones, their eyes are closed or whatever, and they don't care, what is happening. And that's why, and it's not everyone who in the moment can be like, oh, I'm not feeling this and that. They would rather be like, okay, you know what, let's finish. Then 2 days
Yeah.
later, I'm like, oh, that time you did this or you did that. I did not like it, or I felt like blah 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 blah. And
Mm.
and people underestimate how, even in relationships, even in marriages, you can still feel violated, you can still feel assaulted, because if you, consent is always ongoing. It
Yeah,
refreshes
content
with
is very
each, yeah,
important.
it
Yeah.
refreshes with each new encounter. And so you can't just assume, yes, because my partner allowed me to have sex with her yesterday, then today I can do the same thing, and tomorrow I can do the same thing. You should actually always be in that habit of checking in, be in that habit of like reading. And then that whole, I think that head thing is like a universal thing where people
Mm,
push
but
someone's.
recently I found out that people say they like communication during sex, but honestly it's just a lie. They don't, because
Mm,
I found out that most of the time, if I ask someone, can I kiss you? They'll be like, why you asking? I'm like, I have to ask, like, come on. Like, no, just go with the flow, because most of the time they just get offended, like, why you asking? Like, but I feel it's the right thing to do sometimes.
I
I don't.
definitely agree with you, and I think I'm not sure if it's on here. I've had that debate with people where people say no, I don't want you to ask me. Just read the room and just do
How
this.
am I supposed to read? I can't read your mind. I can't. I can only read your body language,
And even
but
that body language
language is not
self is
enough.
not enough. It's actually not enough because I remember one person, me and him debated this thing for like an hour. He said his own conclusion is he's not going to ask. That he's just going to do it. And why his own reasoning was even selfish. I'm like, this is low key rapey vibes because he said that some babes they like to like pretend or they like to so they want you to be the one to make the move. But if you
Yeah,
ask them, it now means that they said yes, do it and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so if you ask, they may change it. He said if you ask, the babe may change her mind. So it's like,
yeah,
the first time I tried, she said no. Then the second time now she wanted me to try harder. All of this. And I keep telling babes
yeah. It
like,
really turns some
mm-hmm,
girls off. Like it
mm-hmm.
turns them. Like I don't know why though,
No, I mean I think I mean I personally it doesn't turn me off at all. I'll
but
ask.
you see those people that it turns off. Those are the ones that will later go and start say you took advantage of me after all.
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
I don't know why would you not want someone to take your permission
Consent,
before.
before doing anything to
Yeah.
you, like saying, "Oh, it's not romantic or it's not like." Yes, I'm not saying that they can never be cues. There can be times when
Yeah.
somebody wants to kiss you, whether you guys are Netflix and chilling, and the person is looking into your eyes. They're already leaning into your face. So there's some times when it's clear, right? And even then, I still think that it's okay to ask. But even if you read the room, even if you kiss someone,
Mhm.
they don't freeze. So that's another thing. I always tell people like it's not always flight or fight. They may not push you off, they may not run away. But sometimes if you kiss somebody, you make a move on someone and you notice that their body goes stiff, they might actually be having a traumatic response to what you're doing. So you should stop and actually check in and stuff. Do you get?
Yeah.
If the person is not kissing you back, the person is not and you know how people can be, oh, okay, from kissing, sometimes mentally too, they can be like, okay, I want to kiss today, but this is where I want to stop. I want to kiss, I want to cuddle, and you can rub one or two things, but I don't want any penetration or I don't want any clothes to come off and all. But some people think that if you're not explicit what you're saying, some people think, okay, just because I say you can kiss me now, you can finger me, you can put your leg in my ass. You understand? You always have to check in at different times. And then if you're touching someone, you touch someone's breast or you touch someone's booty and they've removed your hand, you understand?
Yeah.
And so that's also something that also happens where people think because you have said you can do this, then it means anything goes. And if you're stopping it, they start vexing. And so I think
Mhm.
that one was something I definitely experienced when I was younger with like men and everything before sex, like those days. Oh my God, I just remembered one tweet. So there was this tweet about being making out with people or seeing people as a virgin is so stressful that she now said after kissing this guy off his shirt, she now said, "Uncle, do you want to bath? Like, why are you why are you taking off your shirt?" And it's like it's actually okay. People act like, oh yeah, if you made out or you've touched the person's genitals and stuff, it means you must go all the way. But people are also allowed to have like their boundaries and all. I remember even when I was young, I used to do first base, second base, third base. So like, okay, and today we'll just kiss. After, then next time we see, you can do this. Then the next time, or now obviously, no more.
Yeah, I'm not in for that one. Let's start and get to it.
Now obviously I'm older, but
Yeah,
no. To be honest, I would even say now that I'm older. It really depends on like the mood and the vibe and
yeah,
stuff. And I
yeah.
also think that if you actually have had like proper sex with someone, there's some people just who certain parts are just not their strength and stuff. So it's like, okay, I like kissing you, I like cuddling you, I like rubbing your body, but your strokes are really whack. And if you do get like, so if you're adamant on every time you see you must deliver those weak strokes, then you gotta go. Like I have to go straight because you're of no use to me and stuff. But sex doesn't always have to go all the way. People can do. I don't know why men, why are you guys opposed to cuddling? Why can't you have a cuddle buddy? Why can't you just come over, cuddle, kiss, press one or two things, but just leave your clothes on? Must you fuck all the time? Must you bust a nut all the time? And I think that it's bad that people do during sex to communicate is definitely pushing or pulling anyone's. I know you can guide somebody to be like, okay, touch here, touch
Me
there.
actually, when I don't like people telling me what to do when I'm so.
Look at you. So you're one of the reasons we are here today.
Because why you I feel I should be, you just make me feel good, at least to make me understand that I know what I'm doing. But I know it's your body, but maybe the person masturbates, so the person feels okay, yeah, I can touch myself better than anyone else. But when somebody is touching you, you should not just be like, go there are better ways of saying things. Like, no, some people are really annoying. Be like, no, 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 go to the left, no, 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 go like, it's not needed
How
sometimes.
is it not
You can
needed?
just say wait, you don't know how, you can just say wait, you don't know how to do it, let me show you. Then you show the person by doing it to the person, not by saying go right, go left. It's not a sex class, but just you get.
No, but it's. I mean, like I said, that's why I said about sex being sensitive and how you deliver your
Yeah, it's
message
it's
is.
it's quite sensitive because imagine person might just get turned off, like, okay, fuck it, I'm not interested
Yeah, but
anymore.
then, but that is something you need to work on within yourself because they are trying to feel good. So are you trying to make yourself feel good, or are you trying to make them feel good?
Is it together thing? I'm trying to feel good, I'm trying to make them feel good.
Hey, so
So
exactly, but then so what they're telling you is important. So and that's why I feel like a lot of sexual communication needs to happen outside of sex. Some people don't talk about sex until they're naked and in front of each other. Me, I like to text, I like to talk. Oh, let's try this, let's do this. Do you want to try that? I want to do this. And then there was one. I remember there was one time when because I'm so used to being like open and openly communicating about sex and stuff. Me and this person, it was just done, and I was about to give like feedback. I was like, I actually opened my mouth and I just said, "Let me just keep quiet," because it's a personal habit. But I didn't. I just gave last minute that they may not take it well, like in this moment, because it just feels like as I just finished, you're telling me all and all that is wrong. But if at a later date we're like, okay, oh, you want this again, and then I'm like, okay, by the way, I didn't like this, or I prefer this, or do this longer. And so, but me, I'm someone that I actually talk. I may not say if you're a like I say, if you're a lost cause, and I feel like I'm trying to teach you from scratch. Nah, it's done. Like that one, I won't even say anything and stuff. But I was still.
yeah, there's some ways you just say, you can just be like, oh wait, stop, that hurts. But some people they'll be like, no, touch here, okay, touch there twice. Because come on now.
Yes, but you have, but that's the thing. You also have to be willing to learn, and you have to be. Yes, it's
it's
like
not during
PS4 configuration.
the thing you start teaching me. You can be teaching me
But so
before
you just
time.
want to just be doing your rubbish on them, and then that means you want to be doing trial and error on the person's body now.
No, but I'm not saying they can't like tell me, okay, this is how I like it, but they should not be so authoritative about it because it might just turn me off.
So what else would you say like are your tips for not being a bad communicator?
Uh, me, I'm already a bad communicator though, so I
How are
don't.
you going to change your bad communication?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So you don't plan so you just want to keep ghosting people?
No, I maybe I'll find definitely one day I'll find the one that
One day?
one day.
No, 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 no. You have to promise me, Alexis, that your next partner, if the sex is shit, you're gonna tell them, look, this is the reason why, you know, this.
I'll try if I really like the person.
So if you don't like the person, you're still going to ghost them.
Yeah, I'm going to person them. It's the matter if I like the person. If I like the person, I want to like, okay, let's do it like this. But if I don't, like, bye.
But wow, I really got a bad sexual communication on this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. This
Yeah.
was fun. Guys, I hope you learned something today. I hope some of you won't be like Alexis. I won't be like Misha because I think ghosting is something that a lot of us do. But we're trying to be better communicators. Tell them that, especially men,
Yeah.
women, please stop faking orgasms. Tell these niggas that their dick is whack. Tell them where your own clit is, please. Tell them that this shit isn't just working for you. I think that when you do that, they understand that not all bodies are the same. They understand that the things that they learned watching porn or from their last girlfriend or whatever is not what they should carry because every new body to you should be like an adventure. What does this person like? What does this person not like? You should learn their body the same way you should teach them how your body works. And the sky is your starting point sexually. Thank you so much for being here. Plug your socials.
What?
Your socials, Instagram. Where can people
Okay,
find you?
you can follow my art page on Art Reflections. Then my personal Instagram, Alexis the cutie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alexis the cutie. Alexis the ghoster. Follow me at Hausa Chocolate on Instagram. Follow the podcast at Spit or Swallow Pod. Find us on TikTok, Spit or Swallow Pod as well. And follow us on Twitter, SOS Pod Official. We're also on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for coming. See you guys next time. Bye.